What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. OG here, and UFFL has scrapped their entire system, if you will, and they're going to release an entirely new system in just a few days. And we're going to go over everything you need to know about what the game will be. There's 4 different releases here, and we're going to go in detail into all of it. Now, it's hard not to be biased because, for a little backstory, if you don't know, I started my channel around this game. I liked the way it was almost fully manual. You could use your skill, your knowledge of football to have success, and it was excellent. The game wasn't polished by any means, but I liked the direction it could go. However, STRIKERZ showed many issues, many chinks in their armor along the way. I gave them the benefit of the doubt with some few early errors, but they just kept making bad decisions, culminating in the fact that they spent roughly 9 years developing this game, which means they no doubt did run-throughs to see how their rank-up system would go, their player development system where you get a player and they can keep going up to a certain max, and then the skins and how they release those, and you could boost players with skins. They had to have known this system had no longevity to it, that it was going to be a dead-end way to release the game and to motivate players to play, right? You get these players, you boost them up, that you keep adding skills, they get to a max, but then you have skins that can take them above that max. That can only go so far, which I called this months ago, and players kept saying, oh, well, they'll figure it out. Surely they have a plan. And as it seems, they did not have a plan at all. So only one of 2 things could possibly have happened. Either A, they're so bad of a company, so stupid, that they didn't think in the 9 years of developing the game to do a run-through to see how this system would work, how long it would take to max out players, right? How the system would look with, keeping players involved in the game as opposed to just dying out like it did. If they're so dumb they didn't do a test like that, well, then you don't really want to put time and effort into a game with them at the helm, giving you whatever updates you get and so on and so forth, because they clearly don't know what they're doing. The other side of it is they knew that this was going to be a dead-end system with the skins and the, leveling up players, and they were going to quickly max out, and they thought, we'll just take everyone's money. Within the year, everyone will be gone, and we'll pull the rug, shut the game down, and we made some money, right? And if that was the case, but there were still players left, there was still money to be taken, because players are too dumb to see what's going on, well, then, of course, they would go, let's come up with a new system and keep taking their money. This game's god-awful. There's some people still playing. It's not many, but it's enough to make some money. Then they come up with this new system that they literally announced and then released so quickly it's hard to fathom. They were selling skins literally up to 10 days before this announcement, right? Which is another issue, because that means that they knew they were scrapping this, and they still tried to take people's money with buying skins, even though they knew skins were going defunct. That is a total scam. Or, if they didn't do that, then that means they came up with this whole change within 10 days. So which one is it? Did you guys scam people to try to take as much money for skins as you can, knowing that they're going to be shut down? Or did you guys figure out your game was a dead end and come up with a total new game within 10 days? I mean, no matter how you look at this, it is a total joke. So I have to say that, to be honest with you, before we go into this review, because surely they're going to try to trick you into thinking this is going to be awesome and there's all these things and it's going to change things. But all that has led to this point, you're going to be biased when you're looking at this. You have to be if you have a brain, right? The fact that they scam players so much, I debated even going into this because I feel like I'm sort of promoting their game in a way, but at least I want to give a disclaimer, like, I won't be touching this. If anything, it will be almost a side little, if anybody's interested, look what this company's doing with this scam game. It's not going to be, let's dive into UFFL, because of how they ran things. I mean, who would want to put time or effort into a company that has done what STRIKERZ has done? Way worse than anything. EA Sports has never had you put your time and effort into, like, buying packs, buying cards, and then all of a sudden go, oh, by the way, we're scrapping all that. We're going to the way eFootball does it. And they're still selling you packs all the way up to the last second, taking your money, even though they know that's going out of use. They've never went into development, released the game, and said, "Oh, sorry, we forgot to test it. We see that there's a dead end. We're going to scrap this and go this other direction, guys. Sorry. Keep playing the game, though." No. With that being said, though, we'll try to keep as fair as we can when we look at this as an actual football game instead of what it is, a joke. And I'll give you my honest take on this sales pitch they have right here with these 4 releases. So let's dive into it. First things first, how UFL is changing, what to expect on September 12th. So this looks like a bit of an overview. That's followed by unlocking victory, mastering linkup in UFL. So that's their new chemistry system. Then player cards in the UFL, what to expect. So this is the post-skin system. And finally, UFL squad management overall, transfers, lineups, and reserves. So here's an overview of the change. Hey UFL players, the game will see important changes. AKA the game is going to be a totally new pile of... No, I'm just kidding. We don't know if it's going to be a pile. Yes, we do. And here's a preview of what we'll be covering. Changes to the skin system. What will replace skins? Changes to the economy. Which mechanics will no longer be available? Changes to the transfer market. What will be different in player trading? Introducing the linkup system, aka FIFA's chemistry system from all the years prior to the past few. Changes to packs. What packs will be available? Our goal is to make the transition to the updated version as clear and smooth as possible so you can adapt, I should say, and keep enjoying the game. We invite you to join our official Discord server. We already do that. It's a total waste of time. Their community people, their people who update it are so lost, rude, immature, don't know what they're doing. It's as big of a joke as the actual game itself. And that's just the truth, guys. There's been plenty of questions, plenty of times we've been in the Discord trying to get answers, and it's constant deflection, constant arguments. It's just insane what goes on in there. So yeah, you can join the Discord, but don't expect much. Stay tuned for this series of articles to be the first to learn about new features and not miss any important details. Okay, wait. How UFL is changing? So they give us literally just the bullet points and say come back for the rest. I thought this was the start. So the next 3 releases are just kind of like this stuff in here. This was just, here's the bullet points. Interesting way to do it, UFL. Alright, so let's look at our new chemistry system, whichever way you want to look at it. Let's look at the old FIFA 09 chemistry system. And that's unfair, guys. You know, a lot of people want the old chemistry system back in FC because it allowed you to put players wherever you wanted. And it's just nostalgia, man. The old lines, connecting players. We need 2 French players, and if they don't play right next to each other, you don't get chemistry. Yes, it makes no sense. But it was still a way to put your players all over the pitch. It's more restrictive now in FC. So let's just see where they're going if they copied it exactly. Today we're diving into linkup, a powerful feature, that brings an exciting dynamic to team building. Think of it like chemistry between your players that boosts their overall Bro, can you guys just keep it real? Nobody's been living under a rock. We know. Why don't you just put FIFA's old system? Let's break it down and see how linkup can give your squad the edge it needs to dominate the competition. See, I'm super detailed when it comes to stuff like this. If I release this or if I was the CEO or whatever, I'd be less worried about my personal Twitter account and making sure that I'm putting all the leaks out so everyone follows me instead of the game. I'd stop worrying about that and worry about stuff like, guys, everybody knows we're copying the old FIFA system. We can't say that exactly, but don't act like, oh, a powerful new system. Just talk about we're releasing a chemistry system that connects the players in your team. And don't insult people's intelligence like we don't know what you're doing. What is the linkup mechanic? Linkup helps your team play better when players share certain traits. Each player card has 3 core attributes. Play style. A fictional designation that replaces club affiliation, featuring 8 unique identifiers with more to come. So they don't do clubs, right? They barely feature what country the player's from and they don't do leagues. So how are they going to do the exact system? Well, they had to come up with ways to connect players, right? Like with how bad Strikers is, I would not have been surprised. Like if they had a meta where it was like the taller player wins the cross. If they're taller than the defender, you just cross it to them. The taller player is going to win the header. And players just went out and got Luka. And instead of nerfing it to the ground, they release a special Luka card to like kind of do what Konami does and lean into the BS to take advantage of it. Everyone buying Luka to exploit it. So I wouldn't be surprised if for this chemistry system, because they don't have any details that you need for proper chemistry, they did, well, Mbappe's black and Van Dijk could be black, so they're going to connect chemistry-wise. And then the white players will connect, and the Asian players, and yeah, I swear, dude, like, it sounds crazy, but that's how inept Strikers is, and I mean that. Nationality, there we go. So they added the nationality, and then league. Okay, so there you go. So it's just they don't have clubs. Wait, another fictional parameter combining country and division. Spanish 1 for the top, Spanish 2. Okay, they say fictional, I guess, because they don't have the license, but whatever the league they're in, nationality, and then play style. That's the goofy one, because they don't have a club. That will replace club affiliation. A fictional designation that replaces club affiliation featuring 8 unique identifiers. What is that going to look like? Oh, how to use linkup. Using linkup is simple. It starts in the lineup screen before your match. Place your cards on the field where they connect with nearby positions using a setup of visible lines. Colored lines highlight active links between players, with dots showing how many connections are in place. A dashed line indicates no link, either because there's no match in play. Dude. So it's just literally the old system. It's just literally the old Fs. They could have explained this so much better. Your linkup score, so your chemistry ranges from 0 to 33. So they're doing the 3-point chemistry, right? So it's kind of a mix of the new and old FC chemistry. So if this player and this player match up with their whatever their play style thing's going to be, their nationality and their league, then it will be like a 3-star connection here. And you get what I'm saying? And the better connections you have, the better stats your player, better stat boost your players will get, right? Now, the former chemistry system in FIFA, before the change to FC, with these lines and stuff, meant that your players could get negatives, right? They could actually go down in attributes with no connections and stuff. The new chemistry system says, okay, Mbappe's Mbappe. If he has better chemistry, connection with his team, based on nationality, league, clubs, then he can get boost, but he can't go backwards, right? Whereas this system, we don't know. We'll have to see, right? It doesn't really explain. It looks like they're doing the new system, though, where you can go 0 to 33 chemistry, and then, you know, your players can get X amount of boost. But we'll have to see. So, yeah, the old FIFA chemistry system is really all that is. So that's all we need to know about that. Next, we have player cards in UFL. What to expect from the new system. So, this is what's replacing the old put some skins on the players. You get a base level player that can be boosted unless you buy them at the max. Like certain players are already 91 rated. They can't go any higher, but they could, in the former system, they could get like a new skill added each time. So you could add a bunch of skills. Then they updated the skins, which weren't even available at initial release. 9 years of development. They couldn't have the skins ready, or at least in the form that they turn into. And these skins they released gave crazy boosts. And you could just tell they were just trying to get as much hype built and as much money as they could before it died out. Again, I called this months ago. Even when I dove into it, bought some skins around the St. Patty's Day release, I was like, this is going to die out. Like, you can tell it's going to die out. No one's going to want to keep playing with this same team, and they're going to keep buying skins over and over. As soon as I saw these expiration dates, it was obvious that this wasn't going to be something that lasted. And sure enough, boom, they scrap it. So let's read what they're doing now. UFL continues to evolve, and with this update, the player card system is getting a major overhaul. In this article, we'll walk you through what's changing and how it will affect your squad. Our goal is to help you quickly understand the new system and keep enjoying the game just as you always have. What's changed? UFL now features 3 main types of player cards: basic, enhanced, and legend. Yeah, so like common, gold. You guys see it. It's a FC knockoff. Each type offers its own approach to squad building. Basic cards, rating 45 to 91. Oh yeah. So conveniently, your basic cards are going to be basically everything that you put your time and effort into up to this point to get that top rated team you have is now just a simple basic card that's going to be null and void as soon as they release the game and release the new promos that are surely going to add in the fact that you're going to have to put in money to boost players now. Watch. Just mark my words. Pool around 5,000 footballers. How to get? Available on the transfer market for CP and paid packs and then reward packs from in-game activities. Economy can be sold back to the system for a percentage of their CP. If a footballer is completely removed from the game, you will receive full CP compensation. Gameplay features no link up or skills. So basically, they're just going to, as soon as the new, hey, you get to keep all your cards that you put all your time and effort into. And as soon as the game releases, they're terrible. They're the lowest level of players. You have gold. Your Mbappe that's been broken the past X amount of weeks and months, and since the game released with new skins, is now going to be the lowest level that it has no link up, no. Oh my goodness. Basic cards, your entry into the UFL, the foundation. Oh my god. Enhanced cards, mastery 1, 80 to 89. Wait, what? Rating 45 to 91, but then 80 to 89. This is lower, but they're enhanced. Pool, around 2,500 footballers. How to get? Available in paid packs, reward packs from in-game activities, and special team pass. So team pass you have to pay for. Paid packs, of course, and whatever little rewards, one pack here and there they give you. Economy can be sold back to the system for if the footballers removed. So look, economy, but economy here can be sold back to the system if link up available. Build connections based on, okay, yeah. Features, new skills, not available. These cards unlock access to link up, opening the door to advanced squad building. Your first step toward deeper strategy. Mastery 2, 90 to 95, around 500. How to get them? Available in paid packs, activity reward packs, and special team pack. So both of these are going to be you put your money in basically. Economy can be sold back. So it's the same economy thing where you can, it's not a true transfer market. You basically sell them back and get like X amount of CP back. Features, skills mechanic available. Link up system available. Allows connection by, okay, skills mechanic available. This one is just link up but not the skills mechanic. And then your players that you're bringing over that were broken up till now have no link up or skills, no skills. So all their skills will be stripped. All those skills you spent time putting on your Mbappe or CR7, all them, it doesn't matter anymore. Okay. Oh, this is hilarious. A solid balance between link up and skills, an optimal option for players seeking flexibility. And then you have around 3,000 footballers available only in event packs economy. These player cards can be sold for, okay, features skills mechanic link ups, allows exclusive event cards. This is where rarity, power, and unique content come together. But look at the ratings. The ratings are lower in whatever. You see 80 to 89, then this is just a little bit higher. But this one goes lower than these ones, but also one higher. And then the legends, oh my gosh. So basically, with the legends, with all of these cards, right? It's just any FIFA Ultimate Team, guys, that they copied off of. Let me give you the summary. They took a system, released it that looked like it was unique, looked like they were going down a path of their own to get everyone's interest piqued. And they took everyone's money for skins and all that and scrapped it, knowing that it was a dead-end system that had no longevity, they had no plan. And then they started copying along the way. Once they saw they had suckers that they could keep taking money from instead of pulling the rug completely, they copied any version of FIFA Ultimate Team. Any version, you name it. And that's the system they're using. The old chemistry system mixed with the new FC chemistry system a little bit. Now they have legend cards, and they're explaining all this, and it's basically any old version of FIFA Ultimate Team. And I say any old version of FIFA Ultimate Team because they're explaining it as if it's a new system, right? Which is what FIFA, EA Sports did with FIFA back when they first introduced Ultimate Team in 2009. So really, people joke around giving a jab at UFL, always saying it's how out of date it is, calling it like FIFA 18, FIFA 15. But really, if you want to be exact with what they're doing, it's like FIFA 09 is what UFL is. And maybe the FIFA 09 graphics were better, maybe not. It's been a long time, but that's basically what they're doing, introducing a Ultimate Team system that FIFA introduced back in 2009. Now, there is one last thing that we were going to go through, but literally after I scrolled through this, the squad management, transfers, lineups, and reserves, they basically introduce the same system they've had, plus explaining, like I said, the old version of FIFA Ultimate Team, so it's pointless. There's still not an open market, which is how UFL always has been. If you sell a player, they just disappear, you get in-game currency. It's not like you put a player up for sale and someone else can go decide to pay that amount and you get a percentage minus a tax. No. You buy a player from the market, anybody can buy that player, and then if you sell that player, just like anybody else, you get a certain amount of CP, right? A certain percentage. So it's not an open transfer market like FC, and they basically just opened up a ton of reserve spots now, so you can have way more reserves, and that's pretty much it. They literally go through, listen to this. Starting lineup screen also helps to keep things simple. You have your main 11 footballers, 10 on the field and a goalie, as well as a bench of 7. So they literally are explaining all these words are just like the most basic setup that anybody who's played a football game knows about. When selling footballers, the ones from the transfer market, basic cards can be sold for CP. We already know all this. And then they talk about how you get the CP and just everything we know. Guys, I'm almost shocked that this is what they released. The one thing they've always had that is good is a good artist, good customization, good made-up kits, good photos, right? Cool photo of the old FIFA chemistry system. Cool photos here, right? But you need more than a good artist. As far as what they explained here, literally, if this was back in 2009 and no one had played Ultimate Team, this would have been fantastic. But you're a little late, guys. Literally, they crashed and burned on their unique skin system and copied the old FIFA Ultimate Team and are introducing it as if everyone's been living under a rock and no one played FIFA Ultimate Team, right? I'm sure a small, very small percentage of your players, because it's almost unbelievable that anybody who's played a real football game would still play this. But that small percentage maybe is reading this like, how cool, this is a great idea. But everyone who's played a football game, particularly most likely FIFA Ultimate Team, or even eFootball's version of Ultimate Team, which is what it is, right? Dream Team, okay? They know pretty much what's going on. And there's nothing unique. There's nothing that's going to... These legends have been in both of the other football games, and we can all but guarantee, based on the fact that there's already terrible player ID as far as each player having unique abilities. I've already showed this when I put Van de Ven up top and Mbappe at center back and Rashford at wing back, and I think I had Lukaku at wing back as well. And you could just put players anywhere and you could play fine because the automatic passing system that connects no matter what, where passing stats don't really matter and everything's glitch based or animation based as opposed to any type of skill with weighting your pass or aiming, or it's just a joke of a game. So you're just going to add legends into a trash game with a trash system, and they already failed trying to get glitches out of the game, trying to create their own system. It died within a year, and so now we're going to play this and act like it's not just some way out of date version of Ultimate Team and stick through the nonsense that goes on with this. Come on, guys. Trust me, it is way better when there's competition because each development company will have to give us their best game. It's way better for everybody, whether you play UFL or not, to have a good football game to compete with the others. So this sucks. It's way better for me if UFL was good. This is a game I started my channel around. This is the game where I get the most views. I have the most solid foundation of core community members that started because I was covering UFL. They followed my journey to the top and are invested in my journey. And then it just ended because STRIKERZ sucks and because it ended up being a freaking scam. So this sucks to have to say this, man. But it's like I said months ago before it happened and tried to warn people. I have to warn you again because if I sat here and acted like this is awesome, for one, a lot of you would read through it. Dude, this is just an old Ultimate Team. But the ones that didn't, I'd be misleading you. And the game's going to end up crashing and burning anyway. I'd be leading you guys into a plane that I knew was going to have engine failure. So it's just a joke. I mean, they literally released the most basic details about a mode that released back in 2009. And they're acting like it's brand new. Unbelievable. I'm still pretty shocked that they didn't realize that this was going to be a terrible idea, a terrible way to try to sell players who you just essentially ripped off and led down a dead end on purpose. STRIKERZ, you are a joke. Guys, do not play this game. And if you do play it, just expect that there's an end coming and just expect all the nonsense that will come with it, right? If anything, play it almost as, a long-standing joke that you can laugh at. Not to mention, if EA Sports is truly going to stick to this path of listening to the player base, well then, you don't want to miss out on the best era of Ultimate Team, where we finally have EA Sports where we want them, where they're listening, where they don't want to lose money like 25 because of how bad the game is. So now they know they have to give us a good product. Like, who would want to play all these terrible years of Ultimate Team just to come to a knockoff version with a worse development company to deal with a bunch of other nonsense when you can finally enjoy this exact mode that STRIKERZ copied, but at a much higher level, right? It would make no sense to play UFL. So let me know what you think. I'm sorry, but facts are facts. So with that being said, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel if this video is helpful. Even though it wasn't the best news for some people, please smash that like button. Let me know in the comments section what you think, and I will see you guys soon. Peace out.